I think what I'm taking from this conference is a new, improved lens, a gender lens, if you like, through which I will now be able to evaluate and further think about the work that we're doing in fair trade to ensure that really it is working for the benefit of women across the world.
So I've had a fantastic time here at Wilton Park, and I think the one thing that's impressed me the most is the diversity of both the speakers and the candidates. Never before have I been in a room with so many women from Africa, and I have found that both a humbling and an inspiring experience.
I think I take away a lot of positivity. The conference happens to have come after a bit of political turbulence, and I've seen a lot of hope from people, a lot of people from all over the world who want to share ideas, look for ways forward, who aren't letting themselves being held down just because things aren't necessarily going their way. And also in that I've met people from many different countries, which is always what happens at Wilton Park, and actually seen how many similarities we have, and how, although for my personal work, I work in schools, I work with boys who live in the UK context, actually the challenges we face are really similar, and it's really heartening to meet people who can share advice from as far away as Malaysia or Egypt and be able to take that home and use it here in London. So that's been really useful.
No, this is not my first time at the Wilton Park. I've organized 2 conferences here before, and but all of them are peace building. And I think that coming back to talk about gender parity, I think it's a very powerful thing, especially for somebody who is male. Partly because the challenge of equalizing issues to do with gender is as much a question for women as it is for men, perhaps even more for men, because it involves changing attitudes. And so the big thing that comes to me in relation to this particular conference is the insistence that there are diverse ways of thinking about gender, but at the core of it is a central question about how do we, not how do women, but how do we as humanity begin to engage the full question of gender parity, especially in relation to representation in politics, but also in relation to questions of business and questions of entrepreneurship, and how do you begin to help grow a newer generation of children who understand that at the core of development of the world generally is going to be how well are both genders represented and what benefits do you get out of that. So for me, that's the big thing, the generational change, and how it's going to be much, much better if genders are represented adequately.